Welcome back to another Leftist Reacts to Tom MacDonald. I am said leftist, I am a socialist, I love labour unions, public ownership, individual freedom, equality of opportunity and redistribution of wealth, and I hate billionaires, multinational corporations and oppressive governments. Naturally, some of those views overlap with some of the things that Tom MacDonald believes, but oftentimes I feel he is misdirected and misguided in the things that he says, and too often aligns himself with overused and illogical conservative talking points. But let's see what he has got to say in this brand new song with Calhoun, who was also featured on the last song that I reacted to just a couple of days ago called American Flags, and this one is called Your America. If I remember correctly, at the end of that song it had like a thing advertising they've got a joint album, so I'm presuming it's like, yeah, he's got like a whole album with Calhoun. Anyway, let's get into this, let's see what he's got to say.
They're screaming that they hate America and we're the reason. If you don't feel safe, then stop defunding the policemen. You calling us extremists because our words have hurt your feelings.
Okay, like, first of all, like, no one defunded the police. That never actually happened. Like, it was a thing that the left tried to, like, push for, but it never actually got done. In fact, police funding has increased since the Black Lives Matter process. There has been, like, a couple little experiments to try and do it, but it's not actually happened at all on a mass scale. But it was also never about, like, oh, we're gonna abolish the police. It was more about taking funding away from the police department and putting it into other ways to prevent crime, like community care centres and youth centres and education and things like that. It's not, and the police have a fucking massive budget in America. Like, they have a massive budget to go and spend on guns and shit. It's like, you can take some of that away and put it into preventative measures that try and stop crime at its root cause, instead of just wait for it to happen and then arrest the people. It's done in plenty of other countries and works pretty well. But, like, yeah, it was never actually done. I also, if you are interested to watch someone, like, do a reaction and enjoy the music, I'm gonna be pausing the fucking lot, because I use these as kind of like a catalyst for a political discussion. So if you want to just listen to someone react to the song, go check someone else's out, because I will be pausing every fucking 20 seconds, and I'm sure that will annoy a lot of people.
You calling us extremists because our words have hurt your feelings, and we're sorry we can't hear you over the sound of our freedom. Y'all been filling up our classrooms with drag queens for kids. We think it's not appropriate, you tell us that it is. The complexities of gender and children.
That's another, like, political buzz topic right now in America, isn't it? The drag queens for kids thing. Personally, I don't see the massive issue with it. Like, there's nothing inherently sexual about a drag queen. You can have sexual drag queens and they shouldn't be allowed in schools. Like, you can get drag queens that dress in fucking, like, bikinis and shit, and it's like, that shouldn't be allowed in schools, but not because they're drag queens, but because of how they dress. No one who dresses like that should be allowed in a school. But, like, I don't fundamentally see the moral issue with a drag queen reading a story to some kids. Like, it's like, then what are they doing? Like, it's not like they're grooming them, they just sat there in women's clothing reading a story. Like, if they're gonna do something bad, then it's that thing that's gonna be the issue, not the fact that they're a drag queen. But, like, I think it's a bit weird, right? If I was in school, I'd be like, why is there a drag queen reading me a story? Why can't my teacher just do it? But, like, I don't see the massive moral panic that's going around about drag queens in schools. It's not like grooming or anything. It's just a person dressed as a woman reading a story. I don't see anything, like, inherently sexual about that.
Complexities of gender and children won't ever mix when there's school shootings by women whose pronouns are him, his. I'm not Republican, but keep it 100, they making sense. The most destructive ideologies are coming from the left. I think Black Lives Matter, they think white lives matter less. And LGBTQ turned into WTF. Dear Democrats, I don't have nothing against the liberal, but the people representing you are communists and criminals. They've been starting World War III.
I fucking wish they were communists, man. They're criminals, definitely. Like, the people representing the Democratic Party, like, the establishment Democrats are fucking criminals. Like, Biden's a criminal, Hillary Clinton's a criminal, like, Obama's a war criminal. Like, but I fucking wish there was some communists in the Democratic Party. I think that would do them a lot of good. Sadly, there's not communists. If you think that America is, like, going into communism, as a lot of Republicans like to say, then you have a fundamental misunderstanding of what communism is and lack any theoretical, like, concept of that. But, like, criminals, yeah, I'll back that. Like, 90% of American politicians are criminals in my eyes.
Been starting World War III, we shipping missiles still. They don't want America great, they want it miserable. You can try to burn down the city, scream at the top of your lungs till you're dizzy. You can cancel everything and everybody in it, but it's not your America. You can burn the flag, get aggressive. You can wear a mask and pretend you're progressive. I got my First Amendment, don't forget I got the second. It's not your America. I'm hearing words I never heard in life. Kids go to school to learn, never make it back.
Ultimately, like, the kind of message of the, or like that line, "It's not your America," I feel like is very much relevant, right? Like, it's not your America. Like, America's not a democracy. It's it's a corporate oligarchy, and it's very much ran for the interests of business and profit and companies, not for the interests of the people who have very little democratic choice in elections. And that's why so many millions of Americans are, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, and so many thousands of towns across America have been just completely discarded and left behind from the political system. Why, you know, 18-year-old kids get recruited to go and fight in a war in Iraq and then come back to the country and have fucking nothing apart from PTSD and have to go and live on the streets. It's like, no, it's not your America. Like, the government doesn't work for you. Most governments don't work for people, and especially ones that are like owned by corporations and like very obviously work at the behest of capital.
School to learn, never make it back home, they get murdered. Like, who's concerned? Not the left or the right. Hope you ready for the fight, coming to your front door tonight. The former president
See, like, that makes no sense to me, right? Because I mean, like, the left aren't necessarily like that concerned about the school shootings. I feel like they use it as a political thing, like it's used as a talking point, it's used as a thing to talk about in politics, it's like a divisive issue. But it's the left who are the only people pushing any kind of gun reforms, and that is the fundamental way you're going to stop school shootings. Like, there's a reason we don't have school shootings in Europe, and it's because we don't have guns. And it's like, it doesn't even have to be repealing the Second Amendment, it's just like bringing in very basic, small little regulations like red flag laws or licenses and background checks. It's like, there's fucking videos of 18-year-old kids going and buying a gun from a gun show, and it's like, that's mental, and I feel like Americans don't quite realise how crazy that looks to the rest of the world. But it's like, yeah, it doesn't have to be about repealing the Second Amendment, it's just bringing in some, like, common sense gun regulations, because it's a fucking killing machine that shouldn't be allowed to end up in the hands of a kid, especially a mentally ill kid who might go and shoot up a school. But it's like, the only people pushing for that are the Democrats. It's like, because Republicans are massively funded by the NRA, and you get a couple of Democrats who are funded by the NRA who kind of play the rotating villain to stop any gun laws coming through. But it's like, it is the Republicans who are the massive like preventative measure from ever doing anything about school shootings, because they're funded by the NRA, who are like arguably the most influential political lobbying firm in the whole of the country.
The fight coming to your front door tonight. The former president got arrested, the current one lost, but I guess he got elected. Kids get molested, pedophiles all get protected, and you can kill a baby anytime if you pregnant. People so weak, feel free to take a knee, and you can't even speak, God forbid you disagree. I don't even know what virtual signaling means. Young men used to fight wars, now they make memes. Divide us up, I'm pretty sure that's the plan. Got a gun in my hand for when shit hits the fan. And how the woman of the year is a man, I'm pretty sure I never really understand. You can try to burn down the city, scream at the top of your lungs till you're dizzy. You can cancel everything and everybody in it, but it's not your America. You can burn the
I like the hook. The hook's nice. They're just repeating such like overused conservative talking points. Like, I feel like they never, like, the whole, like, it's not your America. It's like, you're playing right into their hands by talking about all this shit. Like, you're getting annoyed about the fact that the woman of the year is a man, and you're getting annoyed about there's drag queens in school, and like, just pointless shit. You're playing into their hands. That's what they want you to do. They want you to fight about this shit. They don't want you to look at them. Like, the 1% who are the ownership class, who rule the whole of American society, fund both parties, have both of the parties in the palm of their fucking hand, make them do whatever they want, deregulate the economy for them, give out tax breaks to them, go to war for them. They want you to get angry and start arguing about, like, trans people. That's the point. They want you to get annoyed about that, so you never look at them and go, hold on, why the fuck are you doing that? Why are you getting tax breaks? Why are you, plunging millions of people into poverty? Why do you have such a massive influence on our economy when you're not democratically elected? Why do you go and start wars? And why do we pay so much into the military budget when we don't have fucking good healthcare or housing? Like, I feel like Tom MacDonald talks so much about the manufactured division stuff, and it's like, oh, they're trying to divide us, and then play straight into their hands by talking about all the stuff and getting angry about all the stuff that is used to divide Americans. It seems weird to me. That's why I feel like he's often misguided in a lot of the stuff that he's talking about, because he doesn't have like a genuine theoretical basis for his beliefs. It tends to just be like, I don't like the system. Things make me angry. Here's all the annoying stuff. But I don't have any solutions, and I don't have any actual people who are the responsible, and I don't have any actual, like, proper theoretical explanations for what's happening and why it's happening and how we solve it. It's more just like, I'm angry at stuff.
Scream at the top of your lungs till you're dizzy. You can cancel everything and everybody in it, but it's not your America. can burn the flag, get aggressive. You can wear a mask and pretend you're progressive.
This might be my favourite, like, musical. Like, sonically and musically, this might be my favourite Tom MacDonald song. So it's a nice hook. It's got, like, a kind of somber, solemn feel to it. And, like, yeah, I like it.
You can wear a mask and pretend you're progressive. I got my First Amendment, don't forget I got the second. It's not your America. You told us we're the ones to blame. You're the ones who riot till the city's up in flames. You told us we've been spreading lies, but you believe the truth is on the news every night. You told us we gotta stop the fighting, but you're the ones who keep the country angry and divided. You told us we're crazier than you, but all of our conspiracy theories are coming true. You can try to burn down the city.
Like, what conspiracy theories are coming true? Because, like, all conspiracy theories have a grain of truth, and there's definitely conspiracy theories that are very much completely true. But, like, what are the right-wing, like, this kind of, like, alt-right MAGA conspiracy theories? Which ones of those have come true? Because I genuinely, like, let me know in the comments, because I do not know which ones have come true, because the voter fraud one has been proven in a court of law, like, countless times that it didn't happen, right? That didn't happen. Like, do you want to count the Epstein one? I wouldn't say that's a right-wing conspiracy theory. I believe Epstein was fucking a massive, like, operating a paedophile ring, and that Bill Clinton was, you know, going on his jet, and, like, that's not a conspiracy theory, that's just fact. I feel like I never know what exactly they're talking about with that. Oh, all the conspiracy theories have come true.
Angry and divided. You told us we're crazier than you, but all of our conspiracy theories are coming true. You can try to burn down the city, scream at the top of your lungs till you're dizzy. You can cancel everything and everybody in it, but it's not your America. You can burn the flag, get aggressive. You can wear a mask and pretend you're progressive. I got my First Amendment, don't forget I got the second. It's not your America.
Again, I feel like it's a very classic Tom MacDonald song where he's kind of aiming at the right people but never talking about the right things, if you know what I mean. Like, he's aiming at the establishment in, like, a very broad sense, but, like, when you think, I want to find the lyrics, like, what did he actually talk about in this song? Does he have the lyrics here? No, let me go find the lyrics. Okay, what have we got? So, the defunding the police stuff, which isn't, like, a thing that's happened at all, and wasn't, like, as bad of a thing that Conservatives like to play it up to be. Then we've got drag queens, we've got talking about gender, we've got the LGBT and Black Lives Matter. Like, the war thing, I guess, is the only thing where he's talking about, like, a genuine issue, but that whole first verse is exactly what he talks about when he's saying manufactured division, because he said that in other songs. It's like, oh yeah, they just use these issues to divide us, but then he spends his whole time getting angry about them and playing straight into that. It's like, the whole, like, drag queens and trans people, and then, you know, the woman of the year is a man, and all of that stuff. Like, this is the stuff they use to divide you. Like, yeah, there's important shit around the trans issue, but it's not the most important stuff in American society. The most important stuff is the fact that most Americans live paycheck to paycheck. You send hundreds of thousands of kids off to fight in imperialist wars so you can go and get some oil. Okay, let's look at Calhoun's verse as well. So, again, talking about school shootings, but saying that, oh, the left and the right aren't pushing for solutions. It's like, no, like, look, the Democrats are fucking useless, but the one thing they do push for is gun control, right? And they're shit, but they push for gun control. You can't blame them for that, and that is what's going to solve a school shooting, right? You look at the countries that don't have school shootings, like the UK, the country I live in, and it's because I can't go and buy a gun, and I shouldn't be allowed to go and buy a gun. And then we've got, what else? It's like, kids get molested, paedophiles, yeah, like, that's a valid issue, but doesn't, like, really talk about it, which makes me think he's gonna, like, he's just relating it back to, like, oh, the trans people are coming for your kids, moral panic shit. Abortion as well, and then, yeah, and then he's like, oh, divide us up. It's like, yeah, you're playing straight into their hands. Divide us up, and you're doing it. You're in a song that's talking about all the things that they're using to divide you. It makes no sense to me, man. Told us wants to blames, riot in the city's up in flames. Again, like, Black Lives Matter was, I feel like that was one of the only times where the American people genuinely tried to have a voice in politics. They went, this is like, we've been sick and tired of this shit for too long. Black people have been mistreated too much, so we're actually going to go and do something. It's like, I feel like if you're anti-establishment and you believe in, and Tom MacDonald says he believes in Black Lives Matter and he's like on the side of black people and he's an anti-racist, then it's like, if you are anti-establishment and you're also on that side, then you should have been fucking loving that, because that's the arguably the biggest like anti-establishment pushback there's been since the fucking civil rights movement. And then we got believe the truth on the news every night. It's like, yeah, fair, liberals are kind of brain dead and do just go, oh, CNN told me so. And then he's like, oh yeah, but you're the ones who keep the country angry and divided. It's like, you're talking about all the things that keep the country angry and divided. I get a bit frustrated with him, because he has a voice, and I feel like lots of the people who watch these videos are often actually similar to me ideologically, in terms of they don't like establishment, they don't like corporations, they don't like the fact that both parties are owned by, billionaires, and they don't like the fact that billions get sent off to war, and they're going, well, why are we sending billions to war when we've got fucking homeless people here, and, veterans come back from that war and then go and live on the street. It's like, most people think the same shit. Most people look at American society and go, how are we the richest country in the world and have such a epidemic of desperation and poverty? But then I feel like he just directs all that anger towards like these crazy liberals who want to like trans your kids, and it's like, no, what are you doing? You've picked the right problem, and then you're looking at something completely different as the cause for that problem, and it frustrates me, because he has some things that I agree on, and then often he'll just like direct it all towards the wrong thing and get angry about these like niche issues instead of ever talking about the serious problems that plague American society. Anyway, I've talked for fucking ages, Jesus Christ. Then here's the end of the video. If you want me to react to some more Tom MacDonald, then make sure you give this video a like and comment down below some more songs for me to react to. But apart from that, I will see you guys in the next one.